Yo, what's up, Alliance? I did get my session in Legends last night, and I actually managed to finish my prologue to the game. Haha. I'll be ready to start the actual game here. I think it was like a 5 session long prologue thing, just leading up to where I am. But speaking of prologues and all that kind of stuff, who has two thumbs and has a Super Saiyan 3 kill under his belt with the, with some help from his two siblings? This guy. But yeah, we so if you guys remember where we left off, uh, the I had hit Super Saiyan 2 with the aid of my siblings. Like there was kind of like this group power up thing where it's like our energies all meshed together and everything like that. I was able to push myself to the limit because I was a long form Super Saiyan 1 at that point. And bang, I hit 2. And man, 2 is everything. But let me tell you about 2. Uh, the when you hit 2, the Super Saiyan 3 goes from I can't even sense how much more powerful this guy is than wow, this guy's a lot more powerful than me. So we are not in for an easy fight. Uh, and man, oh man, do we get it in. Uh, yeah, so we fly back down there thinking, okay, let's do this. My oldest brother, Dakalwan, man, he's the man. Like, and I also kind of appreciate like the spatial magic now. Like, it seems like instant transmission and stuff like that. Like that has its roots in spatial magic, but like he can do it like he can do it on the fly. Like he's really good with it. He's the dude who deflected the Super Saiyan 3 blast last time that would have destroyed the planet. Uh, but yeah, uh, he gets it in right away. And so, unfortunately, our plan is still for me to go kill the Cerberus, which is a whole different story that we'll get into later, and him and Mira to focus on the Super Saiyan 3. And it's like, okay, because I've got the sword, I've got the ether magic, and I've got the tattoo, so I'm supposed to be the only one who can kill this thing. Uh, and there's a Super Saiyan 3 between me and the Cerberus. Yeah, so we get down there. His instant transmission is planetary at this level at Super Saiyan 2. He can take us to like other parts of the planet or another planet, stuff like that. It's nuts. It's another reason why, as this is kind of like revealing things a little out of order, is like, man, Arcane Saiyans can swing up with a lot of their techniques. Like that's something I feel like they can definitely do, to a degree. But yeah, 3-2s from what I gather of the power gap have no business taking on a 3. Like just from the way he moves, the way he hits, and here's how I know this. Uh, Dakawad gets Quintus's the Super Saiyan 3's attention, and I bang tear off as fast as I can in my new Super Saiyan 2 form. The world feels smaller. It's just everything is is kind of brought to scale with this new level of power. Um, just tear off at a speed I've never felt before. And I go after the Cerberus, who's still chained down. Thankfully. Thank goodness this thing is chained down. Uh, but there's a couple of those torches that I mentioned last time that like these dark, like these black flame torches that are out. And man, this thing is awake now. But it's not free yet. So okay, we gotta make this quick. Um, Again, just looking at this thing feels like it saps a year out of your life, and we're gonna have more on this later. We're gonna talk about Nexus a little bit and all that, but yeah, we'll get there. This thing, like I said, just looking at it saps a year away from your life. And again, apparently, I'm the only one who can get close to it without having like this corrupting influence just taking over me because of these tattoos. But these tattoos haven't done anything yet. I don't know. Like maybe they're just passively working, and that's the reason I haven't turned on my friends or something. But it spits out this black, like venom looking goo, and by venom I mean like the symbiotic kind of thing. And all these black skeletons start popping up out of nowhere, and they sense like they're just below Super Saiyan. Only there's hundreds of them. Uh, like at least a good like 20 or 30 or something like that are focused directly on me, and Mira breaks off from the Super Saiyan 3 to help me get to the server. So it's just my Super Saiyan 2 brother now against the 3. And the only reason I come to find out, this I find this out later, is the only reason he can hang with him is his spatial magic gives him like the ability of like in anticipation, almost like a precognition kind of thing, as well as his ability to move much like that instant transmission kind of move to like so every time Quintus goes after him, like he's able to kind of get out of the way just barely and like and put some distance, but it's like it's enough of a distraction. Um, so yeah, these skeletons come out and I start making my way towards the thing. I'm like, okay, if I can kill this thing, all I got to do is cut the kill the center head. That's what Opal said. That's our running theory on the thing. I kill that. And I'm thinking, okay, I kill the head. The other like the skeletons will fall. We don't have to fight the hundreds of near Super Saiyan level skeletons. So they don't sense Super Saiyan. They don't sense they don't sense my speed or anything like that. Like they sense like power wise, like they're around the Super Saiyan level, just below that. But they do not move like that. They are much faster than that. And they are stronger than that, but they're not stronger than me and they're not faster than me. But there's a lot of them. So I come to find out as they're starting to catch up to me and stuff like that, because I'm trying to like weave in and out of skeletons, like in this Cerberus like spitting out this awful like black liquid stuff that's like sometimes like the size of a tank or a truck, but it's like I'm like having to dodge out of the way, so it's not a straight path for me or anything. And Mira does like Mira's like one of those area of effect type Saiyans. Like she has life magic, and she has these chakrams where they have these runes on them. And I think she can channel different elemental things, and it's like she's raining fire from the sky, cutting down like this path of destruction that I follow. So I'm like flying down through this path of these fireballs that are just blowing everything up, so I can kind of like make my way through the skeletons, and I get it and I slash that head. It was it was actually a bit triumphant because I'm like, yes, okay, now I'm focusing on the thing. So the thing screams out in pain, and I don't stab it. Like I carve into this thing, and it's the center head. Like I that was the head everybody said. That's the one you got to kill. The others will fall. Well, the others will fall. You know how those things go. That wasn't right. So it reels in pain and like disappears like 500 meters away. Which at this point I'm like, oh shoot, it's out, or maybe I killed it. The player didn't think he killed it, but Emrys thought maybe I killed it. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. So it disappears 500 meters away, and the skeletons are screaming out in pain. One of its heads seems like it dies. It's like the head on the left, I think. Its horns kind of fall off, and it kind of degrades into this kind of weird, funkiness. And okay, so that was one head. I apparently got to do this 2 more times. This time, like the skeletons all kind of like reek out or screech out in pain whenever the thing's in pain. I was like, all right, DM, I take this opportunity to go at it. And singularly, now that this thing is very much awake and free, they all look to me. And this is when it gets bad. The skeletons now all focus on me, and so I whip out my ultimate technique again and start smashing through it, and it's like I smash through the first part of it and kind of clear out this path for me, and they're coming up behind me now and they're able to catch me. I'm like, oh my gosh, like DM, I'm Super Saiyan 2. So one manages to get its scythe like hooked around my shield, and I managed it's one of those ones where it's not a problem I have beating him. It's just there's so many of them, so it's like I quickly kind of bash the thing away with this technique I have where I can channel a ki blast into a shield to like this big. It's like a very big potent blast, but it's very short range, so it's kind of like a thing for fighting. I think I mentioned it before. Like I was like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't limit myself this way. He's like, no, player, doing it this way gets you a much more potent blast. So, I blast the skeleton with my shield, like, and I bash it away, and it just kind of boom, like, bones go flying everywhere, and then as I do that, I use the second part of my technique to do this spin kick and do this blast out the back, and it kind of gives me a way to propel forward, but also blasts the things that are away from me. And this technique is terrain shaping, is the best way I can say it, as far as its destructive level goes. Like, it's not a precise technique. It's a now I can use it like to be more precise, but like it's one of those ones where after I use it, it looks like a nuclear blast has kind of gone off in the area. Like all the trees are leveled. Like if there was sand, like there were hills because we were near the water. Like all the landscape has just changed. Like there's this crater, and so I do it and blast a lot of them away from me. And Mira is doing this crazy tornado technique where she's just like sucking them in and shredding them up because she has life magic. So life magic covers the elements like fire, earth, wind, water, that kind of stuff. And yeah, so she's doing that. She's keeping a lot of them busy. I come to find out how many she's keeping busy later on, but I managed to get there, and I go to make the strike on the second one, and I think I missed something. Oh, okay. So when Dakawad started to fight, I missed this. This is something that happened earlier. When Dakawad started to fight, the first thing I saw was the Super Saiyan 3 appear in front of him and body shot him and bend him over his fist. But Dakawad, he instant transmissions the both of them away. So I'm thinking this is why I had the opportunity to go after the Cerberus, because it's like I can't catch up to Dakawad to fight the Super Saiyan 3 at this point. Like he took him who knows where. So I'm about to strike the second head down, and I feel this immense power rushing towards me. It's like, all right, DM, I use my what's it called? My Harlequin crest, my speed thing, and it starts to form, and bang! The Super Saiyan 3 hits me so much faster than I was expecting because he's a freaking Super Saiyan 3, and he hits me. And it hurts, and I feel like he ends up or no, he blocks me. I think he blocks my attack, and he grabs me by the neck, and it's like one of those ones where instantly like both your hands go up to the neck, because it's like if he squeezes right or snaps right, like that's your neck, like you're dead, like he's gonna break your neck. And the DM explicitly said this in a moment later, but that was my first thought. So both my arms shoot off, and I'm trying with all my strength to kind of pull this guy's hands away from my neck. But he's a Super Saiyan 3. You know how Super Saiyan 3s are. They've got long hair, and they shake the world when they power up, and they're everything. Yeah, so he does that, and he says, like, it's just one of those ones where I get ready to like kind of flare my power and kind of like put all my strength into ripping this guy's hand away, even though I'm not sure it's going to work because he's a Super Saiyan 3. But Dakawad shows up, like instant transmissions back, and man, he looks like he's already been through the ringer. Like, like all the stuff I said about his precognition and stuff like that. That's what's kept him from dying. Like, it's not kept him from getting beaten to like an inch of his life. He's looking pretty rough, and his one arm looks like it's Sean will probably know this. Like, what's his name from My Hero Academia after he uses the all for one power, or one for all power, where it's like it's all messed up and everything. Oh jeez, this is looking bad. So like Dakawad was not holding his own with this guy one-on-one, but he was keeping away, and we got one of the heads and almost two. I thought all we needed was one of the heads, then we could all fight this guy. That was not the case. So he manages to instant transmission behind him and stab him, I think like in the shoulder or something like that. No, that's what it was. It wasn't that. It was Mira. So whenever he grabbed me, or whenever he knocked me, the sword went flying. And Mira, like, she has some stuff where I don't know if she has like a little bit of spatial magic, because she's like really good. Like, she has some really crazy shots with these chakrams she has. And so she threw her chakram at the sword, and it was like some Xena level stuff where she hit the sword flies into the Cerberus's other neck, one of the other necks, stabs it. So apparently all I needed to do is stab this thing with a sword, which I didn't realize. I'm only realizing this now. Like, I didn't have to cleave the head off. But man, I'm just saying, every time I went after this thing's head, I tried to cleave the head off. She stabs it. It lets out a scream, and the chakram, I think, hits into Quintus and like slashes him. And it's enough, like, the scream of the thing is enough for me to get away. Like, he lets me go. Like, he was about to snap my neck. And it's like, he saw the Cerberus was dying. Like, this is his big thing. Like, this is the thing he's supposed to protect. So he lets go of me for some reason and goes to the Cerberus. Because I feel like the Cerberus is going to die if he doesn't do something. So I guess that's why he did not take the moment to snap my neck. But I'm thankful he didn't. I'm not going to question it too much. You know, as a player, we know, boy, you snap that gnat's neck, he doesn't bother you anymore. But we're glad he didn't, because Embers is still out there. And so it's got two heads down, and it just starts to run, like, it starts to tear off. So now I don't have the sword, and I feel like, oh yeah, so he starts, I think, wailing on Mira, my sister, and yeah, it's not looking good. So the three of us then go to fight. Now the three of us go to fight the Super Saiyan 3. And when I say we got one under our belt, we made it out by like the skin of our teeth. Like, it was not a pretty fight. What happens? Oh yeah, so I think Dakwon came and like teleported me out or something like that, gave me some distance, and so we get back into it. Then it's like he's fighting Mira, and again, like when he like a 2 swinging down to a 3, it's just like it's not an issue. Like you can handily deal with someone who's below your level like that, but when there's 3 people like that, and there's 3 people throwing out like crazy abilities, like doing different things. Like Mira was doing like her chakram with her energy. Dakuwan is like instant transmission and being predictive and all this other stuff. Me, I don't have those kind of abilities. Like as far as the Mystic Saiyan went, like I have my burst of speed, but that burst of speed I don't think is enough. It's okay. It's not enough to close the gap between 2 and 3 at the level I have it right now. But like I said, it's like my ether magic is what I'm hoping can eventually close that gap. Or at least close it more so, like kind of how my brother and sister closed the gap. But we get it in. Oh, so that was what it was. Is he was, whenever he did that, he started to power up this blast. But it was like one of those ones where he kind of puts his hands across his chest, and like it's like one of those death things where he's gonna like let out a nuclear explosion type bomb. Kind of like my stuff, only his is planetary devastating, where mine is like terrain deforming. And Dakwon manages to teleport me away, but not Mira. But Mira manages to get away on her own somehow. Like I don't know if she gets blasted back by it or what. But because I was close to him, like that's what it was. Like Dakwon got to me, and he teleports us away. and I get there, and we get back, and we kind of have this quick talk, and it's like, okay, like, do I go after the Cerberus, or do I go after the Super Saiyan 3? And it's like, I don't care about this freaking Cerberus thing. Like, it's done nothing to nobody I care about. It's like, I'm worried about the 3, and he's like, we stick to the plan. Okay, like, I got one more head to kill, then we can focus on this guy. Dakwon thinks he can keep the Super Saiyan 3 busy enough, long enough, that I can kill it, and then we can all deal with the Super Saiyan 3 guy. I don't like this plan. He's my older brother. Let's go along with it. We teleport back. The Cerberus is nowhere to be found. It is like a very, very, I mean, okay, it can be sensed because this thing is like the Monument of Evil, which we'll get into later. Again, like once I get to that part of the story, it makes more sense. But I can always sense where it is, about where it is, but like not exactly where it is. But it's very far away. So I start going after it, but I realize how far away it is. And Dakwon and Mira get back into a fight with this guy. Mira kind of got blown away, and she got messed up some from the explosion, but Dakwon and I managed to avoid the brunt of it, which is thankful. What's it called? Oh yeah, so at this moment, at some point or another, I actually managed, like, yeah, I think this is what it was, or maybe I did things a little bit out of order, but he was fighting the 3 of us, and I managed to take my spear because like that's who I am. Like that's as far as my weapon set goes. Is like, you know, a lot of people have swords and everything like that. Like I'm a spear and shield type kind of person. Like I'm a Spartan dude. And I take my spear and it's like I dive into him with my speed. I think at this point I activate my Harlequin speed for everybody, for everyone in our group. So everyone gets 5 times their speed, and it's like giving us all the best chance to react as opposed to just me. And so I go to look for an opening in the guy, and he's fighting like Dakuan, and he's fighting Mira, but he hasn't had to fight me yet. Like he's been really good about picking like the 1v1s because he's just straight up more powerful. And I catch an opening, and I like kind of stab my spear into his calf, and he lets out a cry of pain, and he kicks me away like you would. But it's damage. Like at this point, like damage is good. Like anything we could do to cripple this guy some, to weaken him, to pour out some energy. Uh, yeah, he does that, and no, it's not that he. It's not that he. Okay, so I think what happens is there was. I'm a little bit out of order with things, but I do stand with the spear. I think then he lets out the blast, and then Dakuan teleports us away, and then we come back, and oh, that's what it was. So when we came back, I started to activate the Harlequin thing. This guy recognizes the effect, and he's thinking. I think at this point, like maybe that's because I don't think we ever got to use the Harlequin speed effect to great effect against him. But he realized that like maybe this would put him in trouble. So he, as it's coming around me, he appears in front of me and uppercuts me uh, into the atmosphere. Like I'm almost like he hits me so hard, I'm floating at the edge of space to the point where it's like you're getting that difficult to breathe range. It feels like he almost snapped my neck, and he most certainly broke my jaw with that punch because he's a freaking Super Saiyan 3. Uh, and what like, and I'm a very very fresh Super Saiyan 2. But he didn't manage to knock me out of Super Saiyan 3 because he was dealing with 2 other people, and it was a quick punch. But he sapped about 50% of my energy, just like that. Bang! The impact from that punch. So I can no longer talk because I've got a broken jaw. But I can sense there's a beam fight, like an energy fight going on. And I was like, all right, DM. I start powering up a blast, but I don't use my ultimate technique because it's not suited for this. But I'm very good with my energy. So where most people have a technique to form that much energy into a single blast, I managed to do it just like with raw ki. Like it's kind of one of those ones where I think, I don't know, from whatever I did, for whatever numbers I picked, I'm very good with my energy. Like I'm very adept with it when it comes to potency, like the destructive nature of it, but I'm also very good with it when it comes to control. So where most people would have to do a Kamehameha to like pour 20% of their energy into it, I can just do that with raw ki. It takes a bit of focus and everything like that, but I can still do it. Like most people will have a specific technique to do it. I can do it with just that kind of thing. So I'm flying down towards him, and I'm thinking like, okay, so I start powering up a blast, and I'm at around like I think like 40 to 50% energy right now, and I'm in danger of dropping out of 2. If I drop out of 2, this is over because like the gap goes from wow, that's a large gap between the two of you to like this is an insurmountable gap that you just like you're completely useless. So I've got to like stay extra focused. So I slow myself down a little bit. I get down there, and it looks like Mira is having this beam fight with him, and she's using like some crazy life magic stuff. This part I'm a little fuzzy on, like the exact nature of it, because I just it was getting later. The descriptors were out there, but I don't remember exactly the nature of the beam fight. But whatever it was like the one beam was grinding away against the other, and it was very good at doing it. I want to say it was probably the threes that was doing it, because he's a freaking 3, but like it might have been Mira too, because like Mira has like some special life magic properties that she can put into blasts. So I basically take my 20% blast, and as I get down there, he sees me. He sees me with the blast, and he reacts to it and dodges it. Again, my blast like goes down, hits the ground, and does this nuclear bomb kind of explosion. But it's enough where, even though he dodged it, Mira's blast was able to kind of overtake his, uh, or mix with it, or something like something crazy happened, and both like the beam battle stopped. Mira sends out this thing of water with like this blue-looking energy in it. I'm assuming it was like electrical in nature, and wraps it around his neck, and starts to shock him like crazy. Again, like the life magic has access to some elemental stuff, and it's just like he's like roaring out in pain because of like the, I guess, whatever current is going through him, and like it basically being able to hit him with this raw electrical energy. And Dakawan uses his ultimate technique on him, which is this thing called convergence, and he uses like portal magic to basically he summons this blast, like this orb, and it's like one of those like rain down blast type orbs. But then he summons like a black hole in his other hand, or like a portal in his other hand, and he basically brings them together. And what happens is like the person is like completely bombarded by these blasts. Like it's like at basically shotgun range. So he's just getting hit with all these blasts, and the Super Saiyan 3 actually looks a bit messed up now. He's got a gaping wound in his thigh or his calf. I forget which one it was, where I stabbed him. He's gotten electrocuted. He's gotten like blasted by an ultimate level technique, and ultimate level techniques tend to just be more damaging. So like if you're fighting like a ki blast, it's like it's its nature of ki, where it's heat and destructive. But like ultimate level blast, like there's some abilities that are like considered transcendent abilities, where like that allow you to kind of punch up more so. Dakawan has one of those. This is one of those things, but like because it's like it would be very hard, I guess, for him to dodge these because like the nature of the portals around him and all the blasts that are coming, like and it's like even when he was moving, it seemed like there was three of him moving, and he was dodging some of the blasts. It's just he wasn't dodging all of them. But like he's getting electrocuted while this is happening, and he's getting blasted. So I can't fire another blast into this fight. I forgot to mention, as I'm flying down, I could see and sense the Cerberus, and I looked at it like, do I take it on? Like I'm up here, and I don't have the sword. I was like, oh, of course I don't have the sword, and that's what it's like. It felt like it took another year off my life by looking at this thing. Yeah, so I fly back down to the battle, like I said, fire my blast. It misses, but like the kind of destructive wave rides, it kind of washes over Quintus, disrupts him, allows Mira the opening to get this, and yeah, what happens then? I'm drawing a little bit of a blank because I feel like I got knocked down to the ground some way or another. And oh no, I went to grab the sword, and I feel like he knocked me, or no. So yeah, something happened that I missed, but I go to grab the sword, and Dakawan looks like he. Okay, so that's what it was. I fire the blast. I did things out of order again here. I fire the blast. It's just Mira uh, and the Super Saiyan 3. Dakawan looks like he's knocked out or unconscious on the ground. So I fire the blast, and it seems like it disrupts him. Mira starts to do the thing. I rush for the sword because I'm thinking, worst case, because I need a weapon at this point, like because I don't have, going fisting against this guy, he feels like an unmovable wall. But like with my spear, with my sword, I can at least cut him. So I go to grab the sword, and Dakawan has it, and he looks like he's unconscious. So I go to grab the sword, and Mira yells, "Emrys, watch out!" So I grab the sword, dive out of the way, and put up my defensive matrix, which is supposed to give me some like what's his name? Bishop level thing, where I can absorb a certain amount of energy and then reproject it. This thing. So I do it, dive out of the way, kind of tumble across the ground. I don't like. I'm sorry, I don't tumble across the ground. At this point, the planet has basically been transformed into a giant ocean. Like whatever. Like we're basically shaking the planet at this point with a lot of our techniques and stuff. And the Super Saiyan 3 more so than anything, like with his big destructive blast. So, like, there's not very many areas of land left. Like it's mostly just ocean out there. So that happens. Mira does the thing. Dakawan gets up like he was either like focusing himself or something, but like, or he's playing possum, I don't know. And he gets up, he does that technique. The guy gets pretty messed up. I get ready to. That was like where I was getting ready to counterattack, and after that, like I think Dakawan instant transmissions and takes out two blades and like stabs him in like the side, like the ears. They're short blades, like it's like he goes to his head, and this like he's actually on the ropes now. Like I said, I feel like I'm missing a couple things out of order here. I didn't look directly at my notes for it, but yeah, this stuff all happens just the exact order it happens in. Is a little unclear, and it feels like he still has the Super Saiyan 3 long hair, but it feels like his power finally drops out of 3, and I managed to like support Dakawan, and like who basically got the blades, got out, and the guy flew away a little bit, like to kind of like he's just like he's writhing in pain and all this stuff, like okay, the fight's not over or anything, and out of nowhere, Mira pulls like this Xena level thing where she comes flying and like off some crazy angle and comes flying into us, but the chakram comes from behind him, and apparently he doesn't see it coming, and his head slides off, and I was like, wait a second, she got him, he got him, DM? Wait, he's dead? But yeah, so she did some crazy thing with her chakram where in his lowered state, he wasn't able to react to it, and his body falls into the ocean. Okay. Everyone is insanely messed up. I think I had healed Dakawan at some point, like a little bit with one of my techniques, but like it's just like it restores a bit of your vitality, like it heals up some wounds. But like I didn't even focus on his arm because it was a lost cause. That was a while ago. But everyone is very messed up, and it's like, okay, guys, we did it. And Mira's like on some stubborn stuff. Is like, we didn't really finish yet. The Cerberus is still out there, and Dakawan is like nearing unconsciousness. She is beyond messed up. Her arms are slashed up. Her like probably some broken bones. Like I am in the best shape of the three of us because I've just taken some nasty punches. Like I only have a shattered jaw and probably some broken ribs and stuff like that. And power wise, I'm also the best. Like I'm at like 20% power, where everyone else, or I'm at like 30% power, and everyone else has pretty much spent everything that they had on these last couple techniques. I was like, as a player, I'm like, I know where this is going, DM. I'm gonna die to this Cerberus. Excuse me, but the job isn't done yet, and yeah, I was like, all right, guys, I got the sword. There's only one head left. This thing's on its last leg. I was like, I'm the one who has the ether marks. I'm the ether user. I'm the only one who has the marks. I'm the only one that can withstand its influence. For the record, that's what this thing is supposed to do. I don't know if they've actually been working so far. To be fair, I haven't turned against my friends and like been mind controlled like the other people apparently were. But yeah, so I have my moment where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go do this. And out of nowhere, like this, my hand starts to go really weird. I'm like, yes, the tattoos are finally kicking in. I'm gonna get the power I need to maybe do this or anything like that. No, Opal managed to sprout a sensu bean. She's one of those cool like life magic users. She's got like plant techniques and that are like healing and restoration nature. But she grows a sensu bean out of nowhere. So, man, I would love to give this to Dakawan and be like, Dakawan, come on, man, you got my back with this. But again, the thing that we've learned and discussed is this Cerberus corrupts, and it's like if Dakawan turns, man, are we screwed? Like he's the strongest of the three of us right now. Yeah. So I take the sensu bead, power back up. I'm full on Super Saiyan 2 again. I'm loving this level. Thinking, yeah, I got one head the first time, no problem. And the only reason I didn't get the second head the second time wasn't because of lack of speed. It was because this freaking Super Saiyan 3 showed up. So, no problem, guys. I got this. The player knew this. It was not going to go that well. Just for the record here. The player had no delusions of this. The character was like, I already did this before. Piece of cake. We go in there. I maybe spend about 10-15% of my energy. We'll get it done. So to kind of recap a recap here is I didn't get the killing blow on a Super Saiyan 3. Like I was really gonna think of that everything, but like I fought one with my two siblings. I got some stuff in there. I did some stuff that was impactful in order to defeat him. But my sister, who I think deserved the killing blow because she killed his master, and it worked out that way. Because there was something I was about to do. I was about to basically strike at him, and Dakawam kind of shot his eyes at me. Because again, it's like part of that precog nature, and he knew I was going to do something. So he kind of like told me not to do it. Like I guess like whatever Mira was going to do was better. So she ended up getting it. That's fine with me. It was like it was personal for her or whatever. She got the kill, and I'm still counting that as a W in my book for the Super Saiyan 3. That recaps that recap. The next thing I want to address before I get to the Cerberus is, man, Nexus, we need to have a talk, because you guys are Order members, and this thing is definitely from whenever you talked about, like, well, I don't know if it's like the Infernal Realm or the Afterworld or Hell or whatever it is, but this thing is definitely a spawn of that. Like, it's part of that. It's like just the nature of being around it, from like sucking years of your life just by making eye contact with it, to the overwhelming feel of dread just being on a planet with this thing. Like, that's something that kind of probably affected our fight that I kind of left out, because the imposing presence of this thing is you always know where it is, because like it's this pit of oblivion and despair and awfulness and malevolence and like everything bad, like any kind of adjective you can think for the word bad. Yeah, so you guys are Order members, and I would think somewhere in that, like, you'd be like, oh, there's maybe this hell beast down there rampaging around in the living realm. Maybe we should handle it. Maybe we should send someone to like check in on things, and for a better reason. This thing, as I get to it, has opened up this rift in reality to this nether region, and just being around this rift is sucking years of my life, it feels like, away. So it's like I feel like there should be an Order member showing up and be like, hey, you guys okay down here? It seems like this thing's trying to open a hell rift. Maybe I should stop it. Being that Order is in the name of in the name of our race, being an Order member, that we're supposed to keep things in order. I don't know. But yeah, I felt a little came at by, but that no one, like no Nexus people showed up and been like, hey, you look like you're fighting the Cerberus Hell Beast. Let me give you a hand. Let me bring things back in order here. And no. So it was all Emrys by himself. I'm coming for Nexus. All I can say. We're gonna have some words. I might have to be a couple levels higher before I come for Nexus, but we're gonna have some words about the Hell Beast that was. You know what? You lost your discount. That's what it is. I'm not gonna come for Nexus. That's gonna take too long. you lost your discount for the weapons store. Anyway, joking aside, I obviously didn't. I think it was like a problem that the Saiyans started somehow. They managed to summon this thing, and it was obviously in over their head. And Emrys had nothing to do with this. Like, Emrys is just like a innocent bystander that got drug into this whole mess by Mira and her ninja squad. Yeah, so Emrys gets up to the Cerberus, and it is like basically trying to peel open reality to make this rift wide enough where he can get back into it. TM, flare my power and take off towards it. The way I understand it is like I try to hold on to the Harlequin speed. Like if I do it like right out of the gate, like it's one of those ones where you want to do it like as something else is like doing powering up a technique, because like that way you kind of like fly into it and you keep going with that momentum. So I do that, and it shoots like it sees me, it senses me. I can be sensed now. Before I was a gnat. Now I'm like a decent sized like hummingbird to this thing. It's gonna swat me away. And it spits some of that more black goop out, and I managed to dodge out of the way because I am faster at this point. Like I'm just straight up faster than it. Like even when it tried to swipe me with its claw, I am faster than it. I did notice that its strength is immense though. Like I think at one point it did hit my shield. This is way earlier when I first fought it, and it's like, man, if it just barely grazed it, but like the force behind it was immense. Where if I got hit with this claw, like I'd probably be like a splat on the sand, like an ink blot kind of thing, like but only red and bones and all that kind of nasty stuff. But it does that, and it shoots out more of the skeletons. And the skeletons start forming together, like they start like they start like coming together to like kind of power themselves up. Boy, was I not ready for this. So it's like there's 30 of the weak skeletons and 5 of the strong ones. And the strong ones are as fast as me. So while it's doing this, that's why I activate the Harlequin speed. And I think the only reason I'm still alive is because I activated the Harlequin speed. Uh, but they have these like black scythes that they use, and the one comes after me. Like they're more than one. Like there's one that I see that's coming after me, and bang! I still managed to blast it away, or I managed to cut it away with the sword. The sword's good at killing these things. It's like a special magical sword that's meant to kill the Cerberus, so maybe it kills these Cerberus spawns pretty well too. And I do the one, and then I take back off towards the thing, and I get ready to blast back at the others, but then like out of nowhere, these like 3 or 4 of them manage to, one catches me, and then another, and they've got these sights in me, and it's like making this awful like hellfire, like this hellfire burning kind of thing. Like it's messing me up. Like like it's one of those ones where it's painful to be stabbed, but I don't know that it was like, I think it was more like of an ethereal stab. Like whatever they were doing was just burning my essence away. I'm like, oh my gosh, DM, I failed. They're gonna kill me, because like it had happened for a little bit. Like they had stabbed me, and I'm like, I'm trying like, so what I tried to do was try to like whirlwind myself, where I used the sword to swing away, and it's like I managed to get like a little bit of one, and I slashed one away, I think, but that was it. Like I couldn't do any more. It's like they're just, I'm down on one knee at this point, and just trying to like keep myself from blacking out. And I was like, oh my gosh, DM, like this is how many Miro was keeping off me before. And it's like the skeletons are very neutral, like they're not like malevolent or anything like that. Like they're just seem like they're doing the bidding of this thing. And it's like they've got their sights, like one's in my shoulder, one's in my side, one's in my back, one's in like my leg. And it's like, I'm like screaming out in pain from this. I'm trying to like keep myself conscious, and the tattoos begin to activate. The player like rolls his eyes a little bit, because like, wow, a little late on that one, aren't you, tattoos? Could have used this help before. And it's like I feel like I could do something with them now. And as we've established, they come together to form a symbol. So I was like, okay, DM. I was like, I'll be thinking like maybe this isn't like, maybe I'm not like that. This is my like my theory as to why it's maybe ethereal, and maybe it's not that they're actually slashing into me. They may have been slashed into me, and maybe just being Super Saiyan 2 allowed me to withstand this kind of energy. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to ask the DM to clarify. But I feel like I bring the symbol together, and like there's all this resistance, and then I kind of rip out with this power, and I get this huge boost of power from it. And it's enough for me to like in that moment to do the spin and get like 2 more off me. Alright, and so I have like 3. So I had 5 on me after this point. So I see the spin, and like 2 fly off me, and but there's still 3 on me, and they're still burning me, and it's like so I do it again, where like I bring the symbol together, and it's like it's weird because like they're not doing anything else. Like they just have this thing on me. And it's like, I guess it's one of those ones where like the Cerberus assumes that like that once you're in this stuff, you can't get out of it, kind of thing. And the Cerberus is also much weaker, like at this point, from having 2 heads being cut off. But so this all happens very, very quickly. So I do it again. Only this time I do it a lot more. Like I put a lot more into the resistance and tear it off, and I get again like the power boost was very fleeting whenever I did this. Because I think because so much was being sapped away by these things. So, and then I do it, and this time as opposed to like one big motion, I slash the one, bring it up, slash the other, and then come around, slash the last one. Get them off me. I was like, alright, DM. Let's end this. So the Cerberus is letting out this giant roar of like blast stuff. And so I was like, DM, I do like the technique. I do like the tattoo thing. And I kind of like do it as much as possible, and it actually seems like it's shielding me from this like from the black goopy stuff that's coming out of its mouth. And I start pushing through it almost like it's a beam battle, but I don't know if it was like firing an energy or if it was firing this black venom looking stuff that was like burning me, because it was burning me the entire time, but whatever this technique is allowing me to hit a higher power level where I can push through it. Like I said, the player knows like it's supposed to be like a KO Ken like kind of thing. I think without like the strain on your heart, but like it's just like it kind of allows you to boost your power level. But it's like it's a mystical ether thing as opposed to like a technique that you. It's like it's not actual KO Ken. It's like it's a magic thing that applies. So I kind of like forced my way through this thing's bellowing howl of like this terrible breath that's burning me as I force my way through it. And as I get there, I think I start activating my Harlequin, and like I had this mask. It's like I like the thing to me, the image in my mind of this moment was very cool because it's like you see Emrys there. He's got the sword. He's got like his hands up to kind of like block this blast, and this mystical tattoo glowing on his forearms. And you see like the mask come around his face, and like you see these like I picture like it kind of swirls and like it kind of like lights up, like the eye lights up, and he gets this burst of speed, and like I get that moment where I'm close and just take off with his speed and shoot up through it and take it like kind of like a Shoryuken uppercut, but with a sword, and I go up through the beast's neck, and the thing starts to like crumble and decay as I fly up into the air through it. And I just kind of have like that moment of like the light hitting you, the world is like completely turned to ocean. I think we had a conversation if my ship was even still out there at this point. We don't know. Yeah, just, and it's like I got so little left in the tank because this technique I use burns a lot of my energy off, like the tattoo thing. And also, like, the Harlequin takes just, like, flat 25% of my energy to do it. Like, and it's weird the way it takes it. Like, it's just gone. It's very unsettling. So it's like, imagine you have 25% of your energy, and, like, usually when you fuel a technique, it's like you build the energy up and do it. It's like, no, this just removes it from existence, and it's very creepy like that. But, yeah, so I kind of come down, and, like, I'm trying to catch myself, and it's like, do I think I can float in the water? Yeah, player, you can float in the water. So I kind of, the blade of the sword dissolved, but I have the hilt left, so I'm hanging on to that hilt. So I kind of float on my back in the water and just kind of collect myself, keep myself from blacking out, because I am messed up from these like hellfire flames. Which again, where's the order member? Be like, hey, good job on killing that thing. Let me fix up some of the hellfire damage. Nope, we're on our own. Screw those order members. I wake up back in my ship, and this is probably a longer recap than last time. No one thinks. I wake up back on my ship. My ship's still alive, yeah. We're glad for that. Opal's still alive, all right, because Opal was really attractive, and Everest is going to see if she wanted to maybe do something after that. Maybe keep in touch a little bit while she's in ninja school. But you know how ninjas are, like they're not allowed to have fun or anything like that. So he wasn't holding his breath for it, especially if Mira is any indication. Like, she's a very not fun person, it seems like, anymore. It's like, oh, I've got these missions and responsibilities, blah 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 blah. Yeah. So anyway, I wake back up on the ship. Power wise, I'm probably the strongest of the three of us right now. Everyone else is still very spent, but like Dakuan is there. He's bandaged up, which I'm glad to see, because like he was messed up. Like he took the brunt of that Super Saiyan 3 fight. And when I say I put a W under my belt for beating a Super Saiyan 3, like, no, he did the lion's share of the work. Like, if he wasn't there, there was no way like Opal, Mira, and I were doing it. Opal wasn't strong enough. Opal was a support character, and we didn't. He was our front man. Like, he was our tank, kind of, in a way. But like, it wasn't like he was soaking the hits. Like, he was avoiding the worst of the damage. So without him, like, that W is not. So it's like, it's not an Emrys victory, not by far. Like, it's 100%, not even 100%. Like, it's like, I'd say 60% Dakuan, 20 to 30% Mira, no, maybe like 50% Dakuan, 30% Mira, 20% Emrys, we'll say on that. Emrys was more of a distraction. He got a couple hits in to help cripple things, but like, yeah, it was like Dakuan was like the all-star of that fight. And it's like his specific, his thing in magic like that allows him to not necessarily fight up successfully, but last longer successfully against someone outside his power level like that. So it kind of gave us the opportunity to do that. Anyway, there's some back and forth. Dakuan is pissed at Mira. I'm on Dakawan's side. Like Mira and I, like up until this point, had been kind of close because we were the black sheep. Like Dakawan, like toes the family line. Like he helps our dad out a lot. He's involved in the military and stuff. Whereas like I have my crafting business I want to get to. Mira's in ninja school. No, I'm more on Dakawan's side after this because Mira's on some nonsense stuff. Like, you know, she's got to see this mission through as a matter of pride, and it's like she put our family in danger. She put specifically me in danger. Like me as a Super Saiyan 1 should never be in the same realm of influence as a Super Saiyan 3. And we set out to rescue her. We rescued her, and as opposed to leaving when we had the chance to maybe come back and fix this, she decided to drag it out and fight. So it's like she kind of put my life on the line, and I realized she did, and it's like I'm not happy with her. Like I'm not like saying I disown you as a sister, but it's like no, like you messed up here hard, and like your kind of aloofness from the family is hurting us. Like one, the mission itself is like an off the books kind of thing. So it's like if it comes out that my dad's children, what's it called? Like so, my dad is under Makoto, and it's like Makoto is a significant person politically. If it comes out that we're doing this off the books mission, that it's going to look bad for the family. So it's like it's bad on all accounts. And her and Dakawan go at it, and they end on a really sour note. Like she like thanks him for saving them, but like tells him to f off. And it was like one of those ones like, no, Dakawan, I'm with you. And I spent like the DM was about to shift me at that point. Like, whoa, the DM, hold on, I want Dakawan to know that like I'm 100% on his side. Like if it means having to give up some of the smithing stuff to be more of the family thing or something like that, or kind of more toe the family line, I'm with the family line. Like I'm not like the outcast like Mira. And sorry, sis, but like you screwed us. You like and you screwed us on multiple occasions in the sense that like there was no reason for me to have to go fight that freaking Cerberus thing. It's legendary that I managed to pull it off and kill the thing. Yeah, that's awesome. And then we managed to take out a Super Saiyan 3 because like I think with, my dad had talked about sometimes like having that moment like the brothers, the three brothers like that, having in the Swarm Wars like where they had the big moment. It's like that was kind of like our big hero moment. But yeah, it's just like it was one of those things where it was a hero moment that didn't need to be, that didn't need to play out like that. That didn't need to put our lives on the line quite as much. Like the war was the war thing. Like this was just a botched mission that someone was too stubborn to give up and go regroup. So it's like there's a little difference in that. But the accomplishment nonetheless was pretty great. So I kind of let Dakawan know, like, listen, man, like I hope to see more of you because I know he's very busy with stuff, but like just kind of let him know that like I'm with him, like he's in the right. Like Mira was 100% in the wrong because like usually I'm on Mira's side, and now like I'll throw under the bus this time. So we kind of end there in a good moment, and like there was a couple cool lines exchanged between the two of us that I thought it was kind of like I like Everest, like because Everest like I don't know, like you know me, like I tend to not always play like the super serious characters, but like kind of have a lighter side to them. And I'd say I was like, so where he's like, because I was like, you know, like they slayed the Super Saiyan 3, and I was like, yeah, but I slayed the infernal hell beast from another dimension that was tearing open our reality. I was like, so where's that kind of put in the Super Saiyan 3 kind of thing? Is like so that way I know when I can cash it in, like to as far as an accomplishment or as far as a feat goes. And he says, like, I'm going to put it just below being the guy who saved all you guys from the Super Saiyan 3. And I was like, all right, fair enough, because I would have been there to fight the Hell Beast if Dakawan wouldn't have showed up and saved us from the blast. But it was a nice moment, like a brother-to-brother kind of moment. Like yeah, man, like, we got each other's backs. That's where I went on shift and then pause. I shifted forward to another year, a year past. Like, so it's been a year since I fought the Cerberus, and I'm currently in my present-day game. All I gotta do is catch up a little thing on like the business side of things, like how things are now when I get into my next session. But we're caught up. We're in the actual game. I get to go out there and do my thing. Man, what a session! Fought a Super Saiyan 3, fought a Hell Beast, killed them both. That's what's up. That was the thing I was saying is like the mystics, the arcane Saiyans, like their abilities, like on top of being like, because like you know, a regular Saiyan's a regular Saiyan. Now other Saiyans have different abilities, like we learned from like Brada and stuff like that. But like those mystic schools can allow you to punch up in different regards. Like It's like one of those ones where, yeah, Emrys's avatar thing wasn't enough to bridge the gap between Super Saiyan 3 speed and Super Saiyan 2. I don't think no, I never got to use my full 25 times speed against him, so I don't know how much. I only used my 5 times speed. That wasn't enough. Obviously, I don't think that was enough, but that wasn't enough. Um, and this guy was also a very seasoned Super Saiyan 3. Like, he was like upwards of 100 years old, and he's like in that stage where he's probably not his absolute prime physically, but he's like one of those old hats that has been in this game for a while and is very experienced. So it's like, to be able to kill someone like that is crazy. He might not be able to bang like blow to blow with like in a prime long form Super Saiyan 3, but it's like he should be able to pretty handily. He would, I think, if you take 3 normal Super Saiyan 2s, he will wipe the floor with them. If it wasn't for the arcane abilities that we would, that we employed throughout the course of that fight, we would have had the floor wiped with us. But like I said, I didn't build my character to swing up to that degree, because like that's something I think we've talked about is strength and speed is a kind of a linear thing. If you don't have like more strength and more speed is great, but if someone is faster and stronger than you, you don't have that ability. Like you don't have that versatility to kind of to swing up more that someone's more powerful than you. So that's where I said, like, that's where I haven't got a chance to use my ether magic, which is where 2/3 of my power points went to. So like this, I still view this as Emrys being underpowered as far as where his potential may lie. Like, because only 1/3 of my power points went towards Constitution magic, which is my avatar of speed. Most of it's going towards this ether stuff. So I feel like Emrys still could be transcendent when it comes to power levels, but not where he was in this prologue portion of his story. But it gave him some like interesting goals to hit and achieve. And like I said, I think I've said, you guys are probably tired of hearing it at this point. Like, I'm very curious to see how the Legendary Forge plays out, because man, I'm gonna try and make me some stuff. And now that I'm gonna be in my game, that's gonna be day one. Like, I might be burning my gift day one to get me some rare materials, to the rarest of materials to make myself some awesome weapons or some awesome armor. Yeah. So that's where I left off. That was my session. That's my recap. I'm sorry some of it was out of order. I'm sure it'd probably be a little rambling when you guys go to follow it. Hopefully you enjoyed. All right. We'll see how long it is here.